Welcome to Whisper of Haunted Waves. Tonight, we explore a case unlike any other. A story full of secrets. A woman with no name, no past, no identity, only questions. This is the mystery of the Isdal Woman. A case from Norway. A case from 1970. A case still unsolved. A puzzle with missing pieces. A story frozen in time. And a woman who vanished from history, yet appeared in the most mysterious way. A discovery that shocked investigators, and a trail that led nowhere. Tonight, we follow every clue, every detail, every unanswered question. It began on a cold November day in the city of Bergen, Norway's quiet and peaceful area, surrounded by mountains and forests, and filled with silence. A father and his two daughters went hiking. They entered Isdalen Valley, a place locals called Death Valley, because of its history of accidents and strange stories. The trail was steep, the air was freezing, and the valley felt lonely. Then, they sensed a strange smell, a burning smell, something unusual in the air. They followed the scent, moving toward the rocks where something was hidden. They looked closer, stepped carefully, and then they saw her. A woman on the ground, silent, still, and surrounded by strange objects. The father called the police. Officers arrived quickly. The scene felt unusual, unlike any case they had ever seen. There were no signs of identity, no clear explanation for what had happened, just silence and confusion. This was the start of a giant mystery, a mystery that would last for decades, a mystery still alive today, and a story with more questions than answers. The investigation began immediately. Officers searched the area. The woman had no ID, no documents, no phone, no bag with personal details, nothing that could reveal her name. Nearby were strange objects. A bottle, a burned umbrella, pieces of clothing, a spoon, a sweater, and a matchbox. Some items looked deliberately placed, while others looked scattered. Everything felt planned, but the purpose was unclear. Officers collected everything. They took photos. They studied every single detail, but nothing gave them answers. There were no obvious clues, no quick explanation. The scene was confusing. The valley was silent. The air felt heavy. The case was strange from the start, and every new detail only made it stranger. Investigators were puzzled. They needed more information. They needed a breakthrough, but none came. The case grew colder by the minute, and more mysterious. This was only the beginning. The woman seemed like a ghost, someone who had appeared from nowhere and left no trace behind. As the mystery deepened, investigators moved to the next step. The woman was taken for an examination. Doctors studied her carefully and found unusual facts. She had traveled a lot. Her dental work was foreign, possibly from several different countries. Her fingerprints led nowhere. No country recognized her prints. Her identity was missing. Her background was unknown. She spoke to no one. She left no records. Everything about her seemed to have been erased. Doctors found no clear cause of death. There were signs of sleeping pills in her system, but nothing conclusive. The case remained unclear, and her identity remained hidden. Investigators kept searching. They needed new leads, new clues, something that made sense. But the autopsy helped very little. It only raised more questions. Who was she? Where did she come from? Why was she in Norway? And why did she go to such lengths to hide her identity? Investigators kept pushing forward. They needed answers, and fast, but nothing came easily. The case was cold, and the mystery was growing. The next clue came from an unexpected place, a train station, where locked suitcases were found days later, filled with secrets. Police found her suitcases, hidden in a locker at a train station. Inside were strange items. The labels on her clothing had been removed. There were several wigs, many outfits, makeup, a brush, and shoes. But no wallet, no passport, no ID. Everything was cleaned. Everything was organized. Someone had methodically erased her identity, completely. There were maps with strange markings. There were glasses without prescriptions. And there was a notepad, filled with codes, numbers, letters, short entries that seemed random, but were not random at all. A pattern was noticed. A code expert reviewed the notepad and discovered something big. The codes were travel logs. They detailed the dates she moved, the cities she visited, the hotels she used, and the countries she traveled through. She moved constantly. She changed identities frequently. She stayed alone. She acted carefully, avoiding attention at all costs. This behavior was unusual. It was mysterious. It felt intentional. Investigators became suspicious. They wondered if she was trained, perhaps in intelligence work, maybe in espionage, or something else equally secret. But nothing was certain. Everything was speculation. The truth stayed hidden, and the mystery grew deeper. The suitcases gave clues, but no real answers. Only more questions and more confusion. The woman seemed like a ghost, everywhere and nowhere at once, seen by many, but known by none. Investigators started checking hotels. The woman had stayed in many, under many different names, using many different addresses. All of them were false, all fake, all created for the purpose of travel. She checked in alone and she checked out alone. She kept to herself. Hotel staff remembered her. She was elegant, calm, and soft-spoken. She carried suitcases. She wore wigs sometimes. She left no trace behind. Hotel workers described her as mysterious. She always paid in cash. She used false signatures, and her handwriting changed each time. Her accent was hard to place. Some said she sounded Belgian, some said French, others thought she was German. No one was sure. She traveled a lot. She had a plan, a purpose, a schedule. But that purpose was unknown, and the schedule was a secret. Investigators followed her trail, but every clue just led to another puzzle. She visited restaurants, stores, streets, and mountains, yet never revealed her identity. She never spoke about her past, her work, or her life. She was careful, extremely careful, suspiciously careful. Witnesses said she acted alert, as if she was being followed, or as if she was watching someone, or someone was watching her. But nothing was certain, only silence and mystery. The woman was a shadow, passing through cities, leaving clues but no answers. Investigators reached a dead end. The trail stopped, and the mystery deepened. They needed new clues. Investigators searched for more witnesses. People reported seeing her in various places. Some saw her buying boots. Some saw her eating alone. Some saw her walking fast, looking nervous. One witness said she argued with someone. Another said she looked scared. One even said she kept checking behind her as she walked. These details were confusing. They gave hints, but nothing solid. Witnesses said she changed her outfits often. She wore wigs sometimes. She blended into crowds icily. She avoided eye contact. She acted private and distant. Some believed she was running from something. Some believed she was working for someone. Some believed she was hiding. Some even thought she was searching for something, but no one knew for sure. The witnesses helped very little. The story stayed unclear. Her last week was reconstructed, but the picture was incomplete. She visited Bergen again. She stayed alone. She bought small items. She kept a low profile. She checked out of her hotel quietly and then disappeared, until she was found in the valley, alone, silent, and unidentified. The witnesses gave fragments, but no whole picture, only shadows of truth and pieces of a lost identity. The story remained cold. The case remained dark. Investigators pushed forward, but answers didn't come, and the woman remained unknown. A ghost in history, a stranger in life, a mystery in death. The case then moved into a phase of deeper investigation. Years passed, the case gained new interest. Journalists studied it again. Specialists re-examined the clues. Scientists used new technology to analyze the evidence. They tested her teeth, her bones, and her hair. They found she likely grew up in Europe, possibly Luxembourg, France, or Germany, but they couldn't be exact. Nothing was final. They rechecked the codes from her notepad. They matched her travel patterns, her hotel stays, and her possible train routes. They confirmed she used many identities. She traveled across Europe. She met unknown people. She visited unusual places. Some of these locations were linked to military sites, some to research labs, and some to Cold War activity. But this was all just speculation. There was no proof, no confirmation, just possibilities and more questions. Her past stayed hidden. Her name stayed missing. Her life stayed unknown. And the mystery only grew. Investigators still research the case today. Journalists still search for answers. New technology may help solve it someday, but for now, nothing is final. No ID, no motive, no confirmed story, no verified explanation, only mystery and silence. The case is still open, still unsolved, still alive in public memory. The Isdal Woman remains a legend, and a puzzle without an ending, a story without closure. And so, the mystery continues. Who was she? Why did she travel so much? Why did she hide her identity? Was she running from someone, or working for someone, or something else entirely? No one knows. No one has the answers. Only theories exist, and none of them are confirmed. The valley holds the secrets. The suitcases hold the clues. The hotels hold the patterns, but none of them hold the truth. The story remains open. The case remains unsolved, and the woman remains nameless. Follow for more. Some mysteries never reveal their final chapter.